What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and welcome back to another caffeine-fueled edition of your daily dose of swugger featuring me, your bald-headed boy Scribe. That was a long sentence to do in one breath. People underestimate just how hard my job is as a YouTuber. Play the sad violin music. Anyway, CG seems to be on an absolute roll at the minute of trying to make some really terrible choices. Seriously, what's going on? Honestly. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and welcome back. We are on the Scribbles account today, and we are dosed with one equal parts bitterness to equal parts sweet. Kind of like my cup of coffee. Who am I kidding? I never put sugar in my coffee. I like my coffee on the dark side. Anyway, so I was actually rather excited because my free-to-play alt account was able to get Maul hate-fueled unlocked, and I took him to level 50 because, you know what? He's actually pretty good in Coliseum. I know that's like low-hanging fruit. That was like super low-hanging fruit, but I actually really enjoy having Maul on this team. IG90 lead. I'm trying to get Barris to 50 because I think should be a better slot than Chewie right now. And I thought, you know what? That's fun. I got myself 2 lightspeed tokens that I've got no idea where to use. And Maul, he's actually really badass. He's massively increased the amount of score that I'm able to get in this raid. So, raid, Coliseum, boss thing. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it, which is kind of cool. Now, the bad sides of all this, of course, is, well, it's numerous. There are many bad sides to all these things. Let's see. I might actually go for this instead. Let's get a little bit of crit damage up going and then immediately have it dispelled because apparently I'm just giant, big dunderhead. And that's okay. Let's actually do a basic now because I can't. No, actually, if I fracture him now, it'll be a waste. I kind of need to wait until he's got more turn meter going, less turn meter going, some turn meter. I've actually got a new score. That's kind of sick. I wasn't expecting to get a new score. There's the fracture. Get fractured, you giant, big tooth, big belly son of a gun. You. Let's get that. Oh, if we had the foresight, that would have been the perfect move. But I don't have foresight on this Choda. Anyway. Turns out Maul's really good in the raid. Maul's really good in the raid? I keep saying raid. It's not a raid. It's a Coliseum boss. Anyway, now the problem I have with it, one first thing is, honestly, CG, like, maybe I'm speaking a little bit too soon when it comes to, ooh, Secrets and Shadows, when it comes to this sort of thing. But it really was very minimal effort on the Maul event, right? Maybe tier 3 and maybe tier 4 has got like some actual interaction, but if you haven't already seen the first tier, this is what we're greeted with. Yeah, no, that's literally it, guys. It's just, welcome, you've got to fight. No context. I love no context fights. They are my favorite kind of fight. And all you have to do here is basically get Luke to have 10 turns, essentially. That's kind of it. It's 10 turns with Lukey boy. And that's doable at the entry level requirements. I think it's error level 45, which at this point everybody should be above error level 45. So that shouldn't be too hard to achieve for anybody really that's got a 4-star marquee pool, as it were. He says that. Watch me now as I just like completely fail to actually pass this mission. All you have to do is try and target down the units that have been around the longest, because you want them to pass away, as it were, because if they've got lots of stacks, they do lots of damage, and that's never good for your Luke over there. Let's see. Can we actually take one more turn? It looks like we can, and that is the Maul event. Congratulations, everybody. Are you entertained? So, tier 1, kind of bad. I'd have to jump into my main account to show you tier 2, because it requires 4-star unlocks. The good thing is the rewards are phenomenal. 2 lightspeed tokens and a boatloads of error leveling materials, so you could take your Maul, like I did up here, to level 50 straight away. That's really great. Second tier gives you an extra 3 lightspeed tokens, and these lightspeed tokens are phenomenal. Look at them. 6. Relic 6. 7-star. You don't get the Zetas or anything, but you get level 7 abilities. I'm still umming and ahhing about where to put this. It's going to be on any character that requires Kyro Tech and is used for a GL farm. I think Mon Mothma might be one of mine that I'm going to do, because that'll help me sort of get the stuff like Jedi Knight Luke and all that. And she requires Kyro Tech. So the rewards, phenomenal, but the effort of the event is just atrocious so far. Absolutely atrocious. Let me jump onto my main so I can show you tier 2. Alrighty, we are on the main account now, so we can go into tier 2. We're using Tarful and 2 really cool alternate clone scout trooper kits over here. And once again, you just jump on, you're on Kashyyyk. And that's kind of it, that's the whole shtick. You jump on, you're on Kashyyyk. Like, the battle isn't hard. I mean, I'm okay with the... What does this even do? Yeah, no, I don't need that. Like, there's nothing special to write home about or anything like that. It's just, here we are, enjoy, I guess. Let's just go ahead and defeat the droideka. And then the most amount of effort we get is between these waves right now. I can't even put it on full auto. It's an easy enough battle. Come on, Chewie. Let's go. Let's get it. Come on. Shoot him. Shoot him. Yep. Good shooting, boys. Good shooting. There we go. We got the stun and the mass assist. So this is it. Oh, let me hide my face so you can see it. Because I can't... you wouldn't want to miss. You wouldn't want to miss this. Execute Order 66. That's kind of it. We execute Order 66. We take out some clone troopers. They take out Tarful because he's awful. And apparently I lost that. Apparently I lost. Who knew? Who knew? Oh man, like... Oh, Tarful or Yoda and Chewie being defeated will result in a loss. Alright, I'll show you for posterity's sake. I'll show you for posterity's sake. Come on. Let's go all in on the droideka. Wonderful. Let's just do some AoE damage. Let's get some damage over here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. He'll roll up. Let's dispel that. That's actually not what that ability does. Over here, let's dispel that. Wonderful. Let's take care of this droideka. Come on, droideka. Let's just roar really loudly. There we go. We got a nice hit there with our Choda. Our Chode came in for the real thing. Why did I do the heal? I didn't mean to do the heal. Save those cooldowns. I don't know if we get the cooldowns going into the next wave. So we execute Order 66. We come right back in, facing off against the Scout Trooper people. The Scout Troopers, let's do the mass assist and the stun. Oh, he resisted the stun. That's very rude. I'm not sure if I'm on board with you resisting stuns. There we go. There we go. And oh, hold up. Don't want you guys to miss it. Cheers, Tarful. Cheers, Chewie. Miss you. I will. And that's the event. That's the event. So, whilst the kit is really good, the design is really cool. Really, like, he looks sick. Let's be real. He does look sick. And he's great fun in Coliseum. And the rewards that you get from doing the tier 1 and tier 2 are phenomenal. Everybody should be trying to get at least a 4-star unlock because the rewards are just that good. I will be pushing for 5-star unlocks going forward for future eras on my free-to-play account. Perfectly doable, even with a 12-month-old account. It just feels like that's what it all amounted to, was just like... It just feels like... It's kind of like when we had the Balin event, and it was just like, here we are, we're having a fight. So, man, come on, what happened to the cinematics? What happened to the intrigue? Now, like I said, maybe the later tiers will have some sort of cinematic, right? Maybe they will. And maybe that will be fun. Maybe that will be cool. But right now, I'm feeling drastically underwhelmed. Now, Maul within Coliseum, on my big boy account, has been very good. I even took Asajj Ventress to 85. You need to get all characters to 85 to get the 7-star unlock for Maul. I will be doing that live when that comes out in 2 weeks' time. So I decided I might as well take Asajj to 85 right now, because she's my most enjoyable character. I like playing with Asajj. She's great. That sounds perfectly dirty. Anyway, I'll show you Maul at the top tier up here, and he just completely smashed through all of 7. I cleared tier 7 in one go. Like, just one straight up go. Cleared tier 7. It was amazing. And then he just does so much damage on here. So much damage. I'm going to pass Disciple over to Maul because that's just the best way of doing it. And he's actually got quite a bit here. So I'm going to basic to get the fracture. So I'll slow him down just a smidgen. And then we'll just basic him for some damage. He kicks my Maul directly in the teeth. That's okay. Let's pass this over to... Who do I want to pass it over to? I might actually just go over to... IG90 just because we need the extra TM. Let's see, let's get... we did get vulnerable out there, so we're guaranteed crits just for a little bit. Wonderful. I'm going to do this just to get... Oh, that might have been a mistake. Never mind. I was doing that for the crit damage up. I thought that would be fun. And let's get the foresight now because he's got the AoE ground and pound. There's the assist from Disciples. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like all of that damage is phenomenal, boys. Get the big hits. Those big hits are huge. He's picking on my Maul. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And then that big AoE is just like, oh. Asajj over there just hanging in. Clutching at her pills. Let's get that Armor Shredder Reno out. Just basic. And that'll be all she wrote. So I got about 1.1 million as my highest score, 1.125. So he does very, very well. You know, like tier 8 only gives you error level currency, episode currency, sorry, error currency. Get there eventually, which is, you know, it's kind of all right. I wish it gave you, you know, the Mark 7 or Mark 8 level up materials for the error currency, but they want that to be whale only. But we knew about that for months, and I talked about it for months. I have other videos about how I don't like this new approach for the error leveling system where you go to the error store, and if you want to actually get, you know, the full unlock, not only do you have to whale on 7-star marquees, all of them, in this case 6, so you're spending like $700-800, they also basically want about an extra 150 out of you to level up the characters, which is really annoying because I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I didn't have to do that previously. I would quite happily just Relic 9 every unit that comes out, or Relic 8 every unit that comes out, without spending any additional money. And now they just want an extra $100-150. So my response to that is, I'm just not going to whale on every new marquee. I'm going to be cutting back my crystal expenses and use crystals for at least half of the marquees, saving myself maybe $300 that way, so I can allocate that to error leveling currency instead. But that's kind of, you know, only one half of the problem. Only one half of the problem, because CG did come out with another drastic change, which was just kind of mind-bogglingly baffling. All right, you know, this change to the Datacron setup is just really rude. It's incredibly rude if you ask me. So I know Arnold went over this in a recent video as well, how they're kind of going against the change that they made themselves in the past. Essentially what they're doing is they're changing the length of time that Datacrons are out for. The release cadence of Datacrons has always been a bit awkward with conquests, and errors have put a spotlight onto that. I mean, it's only a problem because, you know, Datacron sets release at an awkward time, right? Because a new Conquest unit will come out and the Datacron will come out right before it goes live and stuff like that, so you can't really put a new Datacron out for that person because, you know, otherwise you would miss out on a couple of weeks worth of that Datacron use now. So instead they're saying to better align our content in a more cohesive way, we have tweaked the timing of Datacrons. Instead of releasing every month and lasting for 4 months, Datacrons will now release each month and last for 3 months. So it's like, we're getting a new Datacron every month and last for 3 months. To account for the increased release schedule, we will be lowering the complexity of each set with the goal of being a net neutral amount of information to keep in your brains. The problem was not information. The problem is not about information. Okay, personally, I prefer it when Datacron sets do have a shorter time scale. The only reason I prefer it is because I find typically by the last month of a Datacron set, I'm like, God, I wish this Datacron set would disappear already. I am so fed up to the back teeth of this particular Datacron. I get bored with it. I get bored with the Datacron. Okay, that's not true of everyone, but, you know, things like Wampacron, I loved having that around. But usually I do get bored. Now, the problem with it is that what they're not addressing here is they're not changing how much it costs to get a Datacron. So essentially what they're saying is they're saying, hey guys, give us the same amount of money or time or energy if Conquest refreshes, right? Give us the exact same amount, and I'm just going to give you, you know, 2/3 or 75% of what you used to get. Instead of gaining 4 months of use out of this Datacron set, you now only get 3. You still have to pay me the same amount of money for it, though, of course. I mean, what do you think I am? Cheap? That's my biggest issue with it. Right now, we're going to have just 3 months use out of a Datacron while still paying the exact same amount. FDCs are only coming out every other month now, so they're not coming around as frequently as they used to, but they're still going to be really expensive. We're not going to get any additional materials from farming the bonus nodes. It's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. So essentially, Meathead already confirmed this in the Saga Events Discord server that we're only getting FTCs every other set. We're not getting a new FTC right now. It'll be with the next set, which is, I guess in a month's time, I assume. Maybe this allows them to do stuff for era-based content and conquest-based content, but without adjusting the amount of materials it costs to get each Datacron, it's just basically saying you get less value for everything that you put in. And it seems like a really weird take for the way that CG has been pushing recently. It feels like recently they've been more and more of a drive to say, hey, all you whales that spend a bunch of money on this game and keep the lights on, we're just going to keep chipping away at the value that you're getting for everything that you're spending. Which is kind of strange. It's kind of strange. You would think that to incentivize spending, they would kind of give better value, not worse value. And I'm not saying that from the perspective of a whale. There are much bigger whales than me. But it's like, you can see this with the legendary unlocks for Maul. It's like, oh, if you want to have the legendary now, you're going to have to spend at least an extra $150 in order to get that character unlocked. You get the same legendary event, but, you still get the unlock, but now it just costs more. Conquest, if you want to have all those good Datacrons, if you want to have the same amount as you used to, it's just going to cost you more, or you're just going to get less value out of it because they're around for a less amount of time, and then they'll break down into negligible amounts of reroll mats. It feels very, very strange. So over here, starting with set 26, reroll costs for Datacrons between level 4 and 6 have been halved. Great. We reduced the amount of factions per set from 4 to 2, which should make it easier for you to get the affixes that you're going for. I understand this kind of approach. So re-rolling, let's break this down into two parts. They've reduced the number of factions, so you're more likely to get the thing that you want. That's great. That's fine, okay? Less re-rolling. And then they've halved the re-roll mats cost for 4 to 6, right? But that's only for the faction. It's like there's only one faction now. Basically, if you look at the current set, you've got a light side, and that's going to be for droids, and then you've got a dark side, and that's for bounty hunters. So there's only one faction, and within that one faction, there's only 4 different permutations. They've halved the cost, which is nice for the reroll, but you're now much more likely to get the thing that you want anyway. So it's like, I get it that this is trying to reduce the cost, but the amount of impact that this has is almost minimal. What they need to do is reduce the cost of actually leveling up in terms of how many materials you need to actually spend on a Datacron, how many credits you need to spend on a Datacron. I don't care if we've got fewer factions or less complexity. It's not about the complexity to me. It's about how much volume of Datacrons do I need to farm, and how much value do I get out of doing it? Because if all of a sudden there's half as much, then maybe I'm just going to not do 6 refreshes of Conquest every time it comes around, and try to just coast by on the Datacrons. I don't know, it just feels very weird. And I'm getting a sense from a lot of the community that people are just not happy with these changes, and I feel like CG needs to come out of the woodwork and actually make some larger announcements, something a little bit more, with more meat on the bones. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening until the new era comes. We've got another month left of this era. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be getting Darth Vader Duel's End. We'll be able to finish off getting Maul to 7 stars. For those of you that are wailing heavily, if you are interested in seeing that event, can watch my live stream in 2 weeks. It'll be on the release day of Darth Vader Duel's End. We'll be getting it done, no matter how much it costs me, which is painful to say, but it's what I do for a living. Yeah, it just feels like CG need to come out and say something about, how are things going to look in the next era? How are things going to change going forward? Because I think there's been too much community dissent around their decisions recently that they need to come out and address just a little bit. Because silence is never a good companion for the community. And they've been away for the holiday period, and I get it. So I understand why there's been no communication, but it's New Year now, boys. It's January. Let's hit the ground running. Let's not stumble at the first hurdle, please. Let me know thoughts and comments in the section down below. Give the video a like, even if you don't like the direction of the game, because, it's not my fault. I don't do it. And I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.